Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here with a video looking at the beta for the Heroes of Middle-earth. This has been live for close to a week now. We've been playing for a portion of that. We've got everything unlocked in the game, so I want to go through really quickly and show you everything available in the beta, what my thoughts are on the game so far, and hopes for the future when it releases. So all that coming up in just 1 second. Stay tuned. All right, so the beta has been live here for, I think, close to a week. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I believe in terms of the information they put out there, they've just talked about beta being a summer beta. So maybe they'll give a specific date. Maybe there is one. If you know, comment down below. But I didn't see anything with a quick search. So I don't know how long we'll have the beta here. We also do not have a global release yet. So I think people are speculating end of the year, beginning of next year type of date, around their ballpark. But we don't really know for sure. But I want to go through each area of the game we have because I'm level 27 now. At level 25, you unlock the arena feature. We have everything unlocked in the game, in the beta at least. I want to show you what this game looks like. So whether or not you're familiar with this genre, you can get a good idea of what this might look like if you're interested in trying it out in the future. So starting out, this is a hero collecting game. It is a hero collecting turn-based RPG game. So you have this collection here with all of your characters, and you collect these character shards down here under each of their names. You need a certain amount to unlock them, and then a certain amount to increase their star level, which increases their stats. And there's also gear that you put on each of the commanders. So if we look here at my Aragorn, for example, there are 6 pieces of gear, 3 on each side, that you play battles. You battle on these different nodes throughout the game, which we'll look at in just a second, to get these gear pieces and gear them up. So you collect the heroes, you gear them up, and then use them for other things in the game. But again, this is kind of the general interface of what that looks like in terms of a hero collector if you're not familiar. Now, I will say the art style, I think, has surprised people. That's probably the nicest way to say it. I don't think anyone was expecting, based on other games in this genre and based on the Rise Tour, which is the other Lord of the Rings mobile game that we have, it's very different. I do think it looks similar to Marvel Strike Force in terms of the layout, just this menu here. It's, to me, I've not played Marvel Strike Force, but I've seen the menu and it looks very, very similar. But again, it's by the same developers of Galaxy of Heroes, so people were very surprised at the art style. I don't necessarily dislike it. I think it's, it's kind of fun, doesn't take itself too seriously. I wouldn't be upset if they updated it a little bit because it is a little bit kiddie, I'll give you that. But right now, the game's running fine, especially for being in beta. The animations are kind of fun, and it's pretty lighthearted. So again, I wouldn't mind if it got a little bit more serious, but it is what it is. It's the art style. I know for some people that's going to be a deal breaker, and for others, I know it's not as big of a deal. So again, that is my thought on just the overall impression of the art style. I don't have a problem with it, but I wouldn't be opposed if they decided to go a little bit more serious with it, because it is a little bit on the cartoon, like kiddie side. But that's what we're looking at here with this. So like I said, you get your heroes, you get them all geared up, or you get extra stars in them to build them up. And there are, starting out, some of the 2 things you'll be doing are light campaign and shadow campaign. So I'll show you what both of those look like. You're going to have these nodes that you can go through and battle on and get up to 3 stars on. You get 3 stars by not losing any of your team. And so you go through these different battles, you click on them, and you have this energy that you use here. So the energy is going to be up here on the screen. If you can see, I've got 174 out of 86 right here. So you get that energy. It just regenerates all the time. I believe it's just uncapped right now for the beta, but usually it'd probably cap out at what I'm at right now, which is 86. But again, you get that energy every day. You use that energy to then battle. So on the light side here, we're going to go in. It's going to show us all the light characters we have, and we can pick a composition of 5 of them to put in here to use in this battle. Now, I believe the synergy system here is very similar to Marvel Strike Force. Again, I've not played it, so correct me if I'm wrong. I've just played Galaxy of Heroes, which has a leader slot system where you have a leader. Like it'd be like if Aragorn had a skill and you put him in the first slot and it says Aragorn leadership, all light side allies get blah, 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 whatever it is. There's nothing like that. They all just have synergies. They're called grants and gains they give. So if I click on the number here, you can see that Aragorn is gaining 4 things from these 4 members, and he's granting 2 things out to those. And again, you can click on anyone and see what they're gaining, what they're granting, that kind of stuff. So you can get an idea. Again, if I wanted to take the Rivendell Duelist out, he only has 1, and I want to get a little bit more, I could take him out and put an Elro here who's going to get 6. So you can, again, try and build the best squad you can. But I do think this synergy system allows for a little bit more creativity in the team, so you're not so stuck in just a set team of 5. Again, as games expand and you get more and more characters to use, even in Galaxy Heroes, there are more than 5 per squad. But sometimes some of the squads are pretty close to 5 or 6, and you are limited, or there's just some that are very obviously bad characters, so you're really stuck with this 5. But I'm hoping the synergy system means that there'll be a lot more flexibility with who you can use, so you can use characters that you enjoy playing with. And just like the light side, there is the shadow campaign, which uses the same normal or campaign energy. So we click the same thing here, and we get a little cinematic here. It's a little there's a storyline going on for the shadow and dark side. And it's the exact same thing here, but we have our shadow team here. So they've got synergies. You can see who works well with who. Again, in my opinion, the shadow side is a little bit more difficult. So we start off with less of them to go with, and there's a lot less synergies right here, at least at this point. So I've had a harder time with the shadow side, but I think that's pretty normal for starting out. I'll give some tips at the end of the video of things that I've done with my shadow team to improve how they've performed in the last little bit since I've reached level 25. Now, in addition to the light and shadow side campaign, there is also the guild battles. So the guild battles use this different energy up here, which I can see I've got a bunch of it at 232. You go to guild battles, and this is like the Cantina battles in Galaxy of Heroes if you played. The same thing where there are nodes to play on, but in this one, you can use light and shadow side characters. So now you can try and build the best group of heroes up, which again, for the most part, I think your synergies are still going to be shadow is going to work with shadow. Good's going to work with good, but I do still think you can find some viability with mixed troop comps, which again, this is what I've been using right here, and it's worked pretty well. You also, if you're in a guild, can use a character in your guild. So if I go back, you can see my guild allies have these troops available. I'm already using Aragorn, so I can't use any of the ones here, and I've already used the Frodo recently. But again, you could get an extra member to help from one of your guild members in this one, but then you go through and you battle on the same nodes, trying not to lose troops so you can get 3 stars. Now, I've mentioned the importance of getting 3 stars a couple of times here, and I'll explain why really quickly. Once you have 3 stars, so if you click here, we have 2 stars. The auto win option is grayed out, but if we go to a 3-star battle, we can auto win these different things. You can auto win on any node 20 times a day, and that's going to just be like you're simming or simulating these battles 20 times. And so every time you play, you have the possibility to get these rewards. So if I do that times 20, my chances are times 20 of all this stuff. So you can go through, if you need gold, if you need XP, if you need, these are ability mats to upgrade your skills, or gear for your commanders, or even shards to unlock and upgrade your commanders. So once you 3-star them, then you can use your energy when you want to farm specific pieces of gear or ability. Again, I've been doing ability materials to try and get abilities upgraded so my heroes are a little bit stronger. But again, that's the reason you want to 3-star things, because you're going to eventually need to go back and get someone or get something, and you've only 2-starred it, as example here. So at some point, I'll go back here and 3-star this battle so I can have full access to it whenever I need to. But that's the importance of 3-starring and why you want to do that, so you can auto win if needed to upgrade your troops. Now, speaking of the guild, there are guild currencies that you can get in the game for being in a guild and playing in the guild battles. There are different types of commanders you can get from this using those tokens. And there's other stores as well. So if you look at the 4 supplies here, we have the main store, which uses your gold, and you can buy pieces of gear. You have the arena store. So once you unlock the arena, you start getting arena tokens every day, and I'll show that in just a second. So you can purchase heroes here. There is the challenge store here. So as you challenges, you can get these points here to unlock heroes. And then lastly, the guild store like we showed, where you can get different things here. I'm still learning about the game to figure out who's going to be best to use here. From what I've seen and what I've dealt with, the goblins are kind of a pain in the butt. And so during the weekly login reward, if you log into the first 7 days, you do unlock the Great Goblin. And I'm hoping I can get him soon and have enough goblins to go with him to make a full team. Other than that, I've just upgraded heroes I had. So I got my Halberad, for example. I got him to 2 stars using this one, and now I'm switching to this Goblin Thrasher. And in the other stores that I have, I'm getting the Goblin Quick Shot here. So that's the plan I'm doing. I'd love to hear down below if you guys have played, if you're playing the beta. Again, I've seen good things about Merry working with Frodo and Aragorn, so there are probably a couple of paths you could take, but I'd be curious what people have found that works best with them. But that's what I'm trying right now in the supplies area. Now, one more thing before we look at the arena, there are the daily challenges. These challenges are available every single day. On different days, there are different challenges available, and on Sunday, every challenge is available. So right here, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's Wednesday, we have the Lost Artifacts and the Battle Experience available. So you can go through and you can 3-star and then auto win if you want to these different things. Just get rewards. It's a little extra boost in the rewards every day. But again, there are different ones for different types of gear that you need. There are some for gold. There are some for ability materials. So you want to go through and make sure you're 3-starring these at the highest level you can to get the most of these every day. And then obviously Sundays are a really big day that you go through. You auto win all of them at the highest level you can and get the most rewards for your account. Now, last but not least is the arena. This unlocks at level 25. You get 5 chances to battle in the arena every day. You get this arena energy. You can use your gems to purchase more. So if you want to spend 100 gems, I believe it is, you can go through. If I click battle here, let's see if it goes. Yeah, so if I spend 100 gems, it's going to give me 5 more of those. I've already done my 5 battles for the day. At reset in almost 3 hours, I'll get 5 more. But basically you go through, you can refresh this to see a few different options, but you can see they're all about the same. Rank 22, rank 20, rank 21. and you take your army in against someone else's set defense. So if you saw back here on this menu, I get to pick who I want to put on defense. I put this team here, which is just more or less my best team, and I can go in and see who I think I can do the best against. Now, we are in beta. It's very early in the game, so a lot of the early teams are going to be very similar. So you have to kind of look at it and see, and you'll learn pretty quickly who you have trouble with. Again, some higher geared characters here I might want to avoid. I might see if I can jump or pass that team by taking someone else out. Or like I said, I've had trouble with the goblins, so there might be certain ones like that that I avoid. But you got to decide, you got to go for it. You can look at all these different ones and see, okay, I think I'm going to do the best against this one or whatever it is. You do that, you go on, you've got 5 minutes. There's no star rating, but it's just last one standing wins. And you have 5 minutes. If you don't get it done in 5 minutes, then you do not win and you do not advance in your rank. But you're going to do your battles every day and do your arena climb, and then you'll be on the leaderboard. And so for me right now, we're not doing too crazy, but we're rank 70 in gold 2. Which overall is in the top 250, I believe. This is what this means here. So these are our rewards right now. It's 93 of the crystals or gems, I believe. They're called gems, and the arena points here. So as you upgrade and get going more and more and more, again, in the top tier areas, you can get a lot per day. And later in the game, how it works in a game like Galaxy of Heroes is you even coordinate with people that are playing in your arena shard, as it's called, and you would coordinate. And if this game's going to allow you to, you can actually change when your payout times are, so it's convenient for you. So if you change your timing for your payouts, you can then coordinate with people around you to say, hey, I'm going to get my payout at this hour, you get it the following hour, and then you get it the next hour, and so on and so forth. So you try and coordinate with the top players so everyone can kind of, instead of fighting each other and very inconsistently getting rewards, everyone can kind of max out and get the most rewards that way. Assuming people want to coordinate, sometimes people don't do that and it doesn't happen. And that may not happen in this game at all because it's a different game, but that's my experience over there is you kind of coordinate with people that are in your arena and try and get those highest tier rewards you can so everyone can get the most crystals every day. Now, last but not least, I want to give a few tips as I've been playing. Again, I'm by no means an expert at this, but I played Galaxy Heroes for a couple of years, and I've been playing this for several hours. So I've picked up a few things along the way. So if you've stuck around this long and want to know more about the game, I'm going to give you a few tips on what helps me, especially with the shadow side. There's really just a few things that I've noticed or picked up on. The first thing is going to be you want to really know how your character's kits works, especially the ones you're using. When I first started playing, I was reading every kit for every person I was fighting. Just really make sure you understand how yours work, and eventually you're going to learn, you know, once you've learned enough, you're going to start looking at your enemies and how they do, because it's going to be helpful for you to know what the different people you're facing can do so you can know who to prioritize in battle. So for example, someone like Aragorn with his heroic charge is going to grant stealth to one random Hobbit ally. So if you have Frodo in your squad as your only Hobbit ally, it's going to give that stealth to him, which means he can't be targeted. And since Frodo is maybe a little bit more squishy than the other commanders, you want to time that well so Aragorn keeps him under stealth, and then Frodo himself also has a stealth ability. You can kind of go multiple turns in a row, keeping Frodo stealth out of the way of harm by using Aragorn's abilities here. So something that you may not be utilizing by not using Frodo, but bringing him in keeps him out of the way. He can still do some damage and work well with Aragorn. Another really big thing to look at for both sides, light and dark side, is which of your heroes or commanders work well together. So, for example, this one, Northern Storm, there is if Swiftblade is an ally, they grant deadly to her, and then they both attack the target 2 times total for 80% damage per hit. So again, his ability here, Northern Storm, by himself is just 120%. But if they go in there together, they both hit 1 hit for 80%, which is 160. So again, something like that where you may not even know that you have a double attack available. If you bring both of them in, you're getting more damage out of it. And there are characters like that do that in a lot of different ways. So you want to make sure you're reading your kits and you know if you have possible synergies available, you're taking advantage of them. Thing that's probably been the biggest game changer for me has been the Goblin Chef. It's just kind of funny because it just seems like a funny character. But he's the only healer you have on the evil side to start out with, in the shadow side. And he has the ability called Dig In, which starting out heals for 75 HP, which is not that much. Even at the beginning, it's not that much. But at level 3, which you need to be yourself, your account needs to be level 25 to be able to get the 3rd level. At the 3rd level, it increases by 725. So it basically, his heal gets 10 times better at level 3. So if you're struggling on the shadow side, I would 100% suggest using your ability materials on the Goblin Chef to get his ability to level 3, because that's going to increase the heal 10 times. And if you're playing the guild battles, you can then bring in Halbarad, who's your good side healer. You can bring in the Goblin Chef and have 2 heals, and then have everyone else who's dealing damage. It's worked pretty well for me so far. And I've seen a lot of stuff in the Discord and on YouTube already about people really liking the Goblin Chef. So if you are playing the beta or you're planning on playing it, assuming major things don't change when the game releases, he's probably going to be one that I look at making sure as soon as I'm level 25, I go into his Dig In skill and I might just hold off from shadow battles as long as I can until I get to 25, because it makes a huge difference for that and in the guild battles. But that's a very basic look at the beta for the Heroes of Middle-earth. Again, there's not a ton to do right now because it is a beta. You have your light and dark side battles, which is just your very basic early game stuff to kind of get your roster growing, get your commanders upgrading. There'll be a point when you're playing that you're going to have 3-star every single battle. You'll have 270 out of 270 on both of these, and they're not really meant to be replayed by going and playing them. But you upgrade your troops with the battles there, and then in the future there'll be more events, there'll be more activities. I guarantee this area, this tavern area, is going to be much bigger. You can scroll back and forth and see different things on different tables that you can participate in. I wanted to pull up a different game to give you a comparison of some things you might have to look forward to that could be similar in this game. Now, really quickly, I wanted to pull up Galaxy of Heroes because this is the game made by Capital Games, who's the same developer for Heroes of Middle-earth. Obviously, it looks very different. I honestly think that Heroes of Middle-earth looks more like Marvel Strike Force, which I find very interesting. But just to give you an idea of how much potential there is in the future, and it could be even more than this, obviously this game's been out for years, so it's not going to look exactly the same. But what we have right now is equivalent to the light side and dark side battles, which are these two tables right here, the Cantina battles, which would be the guild battles, and then the arena table. Those are the 4 things we have in the beta. And I won't even get into like what all these things are, because some of them you spend more time on them. Some of the, Grand Arena Championships, that's every couple of days you battle against another player, you set defense, you have commanders on offense. There's stuff over on this side as well. There's a ships area, so I don't know what the equivalent to ships would be in Lord of the Rings, but there's a fleet arena, there's fleet battles, fleet challenges, all that kind of stuff. So all that to say, it's the beta. There's not that much out right now. Even joining a guild, there are different. Now we're getting a loading screen here with Galaxy Heroes. Even joining a guild, there are plenty of guild events that you can do. Like I'll show you really quickly. So in guilds, there are these things called raids, which you can, as your team uses energy, you earn points for your guild to launch these different raids to fight these different bosses. As you fight and do damage, you get rewards. There's just a lot of things like that. There's different guild events. There's none live right now that I can see because I just joined this guild to check this out. But there are different guild events that your whole guild participates in to try and get as far as you can in some kind of a big territory battle type thing. There's guild versus guild stuff where your entire guild sets defense and another guild sets the defense, and you both go and try and clear as much of the board as you can. There's a lot of stuff like that. So all that to say, this is the beta. Don't expect a crazy amount out of it. I'm trying to stay optimistic with it. I'm trying to, be patient with the art style because it doesn't bother me, but it did surprise me. So other than the art style, once the game actually comes out and they start adding things again, I don't think they're just going to dump all this stuff in the game at once. But it may be as the game rolls out, we get a galactic battle type thing where there's this war table where you go through, you can bring one army in and you have to use them for the entire time. So you have to really be smart. And if you lose someone early on, it can be really detrimental. So you go through and you have to go to each node. After each point, you get a reward. And then after you finish it all, you collect these galactic war tokens to then buy more stuff in another store. Again, it's going to be different in the Lord of the Rings game. I'm not expecting things to be a carbon copy, but there is a lot that we could look forward to that I think is going to be pretty enjoyable. So again, that is a look at the Heroes of Middle-earth. We're on Galaxy Heroes now doing a little bit of side-by-side comparison, but that's a look at the Heroes of Middle-earth. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you're excited for this game, what your impressions have been if you've played or just from seeing videos, and if you plan on playing it when the game goes global. But that's going to do it for me in this one, and I'll see you all in a future video.